Hi, I'm Kris from Theme Park to Table, cooking up theme park recipes here in my kitchen. Today we're doing a holiday recipe, but we're actually hopping back to our Delish Loves Disney book. This is actually the next recipe in the book, which is one of the reasons why we paused there because I thought this would be great for Thanksgiving. We're going to page 25 and we're doing a leftover stuffing waffle. This would be a great recipe for after Thanksgiving when we have all those leftovers and we're looking for something quick and easy to do. So the first part of this recipe is we're going to be making our own cranberry sauce. So if you just want to step back over this way, I have already combined and coming to a boil, so you guys don't have to watch water boil, sugar and water. The recipe is just a traditional ocean spray recipe. That's what they use. It calls for equal parts sugar and water. It's supposed to be 1 cup to 1 cup. In this case, 2 cups to 2 cups. So I'm doing 2 bags to make sure we have lots of cranberry sauce. Because my son in particular is a cranberry sauce monster, and any amount of cranberry sauce there is, he will eat with a spoon. I have found in the past when I make cranberry sauce, because I do always make my own homemade sauce, my kids are kind of snobs when it comes to canned cranberry sauce, that I like to cut down the amount of sugar. I'm going to add these in while we talk. And instead of doing a cup to a cup, I usually do a cup of water to 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I find that the cup to cup is just a little bit too sweet for me. And I personally like the tartness of the cranberries to kind of shine through a bit more. So what we're doing now is I just poured the cranberries in and they're going to sit here. The water's going to come back to a simmer. They're going to simmer for a little while. They're going to start popping and getting happy. While this is working, because we've got some time, we are going to zest an orange. I've already washed my orange and I'm just going to kind of do the whole thing. You just want to take off the orange part when you're zesting. Underneath, there's a white pith that tends to be very bitter. And you really don't want that part into the zest because it does not taste nice. I'm sure when you've eaten an orange, you've gotten some of that white stuff in your mouth, kind of, that doesn't always peel off. That is what we're trying to avoid getting into our zest. It doesn't have any of the lemon oils in it. Orange oils. I'm not doing a lemon. Any of the orange oils in it. And that's primarily what we're looking for, is that concentrated, fresh orange taste. So I'm just going to keep rotating this and zesting off the outside of it. When I usually make my cranberry sauce, I don't put orange zest in it. I usually just do the cranberries and the water and the sugar. I guess I'm a bit of a cranberry sauce purist. I know lots of people who do add the oranges in. And for this particular recipe, they do ask for orange, so that's what we're doing. So we're almost there on the zest. And after I zest an orange, typically what I do is I will slice it up into smiley faces for my kids to have. So there we go. I'm just going to take that little bit of zest off. I'll put this right there, and we're just going to pop all of that right into the sauce. So let me give this a stir. You can actually kind of see that it's starting to come to a simmer. You can actually see where some of the cranberries, I just saw one, are starting to pop a little bit on the sides. There's one. Kind of see how he's starting to pop. What happens is these guys will all pop open. They'll release some pectin, and that's what causes the cranberry sauce to thicken. So we probably have about 10 to 12 minutes before these all kind of come to a simmer. They all start popping and congealing down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep an eye on these, and I'll meet you back here as soon as they're done. So we'll see you here in just a few. Welcome back. Our cranberry sauce is done. I've turned off the temperature. If you take a look at it, you can see that the berries have popped and they have thickened. And if you look at where we started, it's definitely cooked way down. It's a nice thick sauce consistency. I'm going to take it and I'm going to move it over here. So now the next step of this recipe is letting this cranberry sauce cool down and come to room temperature. Depending on how early you're making this in the day, you could refrigerate it too if it cools all the way down. So while this sauce cools down, we're going to step away. The next part of the recipe, we're actually going to be taking some leftover stuffing and making stuffing waffles, and then we'll be assembling a whole leftover stuffing dinner. So while this cools down, I will see you on the other side. Welcome back. We're ready to take the next steps in our leftover stuffing waffle. I have in front of me our leftover stuffing. I have a waffle iron that is preheating right now, so it should be ready to go by the time we get this mixed up. To our stuffing for our waffle, we're going to add in some beaten eggs, and then some heavy cream. The recipe gives a range of heavy cream, so I'm going to start with about half of it. It says to go by eye, so it's not too moist. So I'm going to give this a mix, see how it looks, and kind of guess, because like all the recipes we do here, I've never made this before, so I'm just going to kind of go by eye and see what too wet looks like. So I'm just going to try to get all the way down to the bottom. I do have a lot of stuffing here, so it's going to be a bit of a job to get everything all mixed in nicely. I'm also trying not to spill my vegetable oil from my waffle iron. I'm watching the level precariously sway back and forth as I do this. I am going to put in the rest of that cream. And we're going to give this a final mix. And then we're going to brush our waffle iron down with some oil so it doesn't stick. And we're going to get this cooking. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to pop open the lid. Definitely nice and hot. It says to generously grease both sides. So I'm going to do this side first. I'm going to shut it, flip it, and then hit the other side. Definitely don't want the stuffing mix sticking all over inside the waffle iron. Okay, like that. I'm actually going to now take this and I'm going to move this out of the way because I can see imminent disaster if I don't. Pop this back open. We're going to grab some of our stuffing. It says to put it in and kind of spread it out. This first one is always kind of the test with any new recipe. Definitely don't want to overfill it. I think that probably looks pretty good. So I'm going to shut it. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to set my timer. It says 7 to 9 minutes is how long this is going to take to cook. So I'm going to set it for 7. I'm going to clear off the space, get ready to plate this up when we come back, and we'll keep an eye on this, and I'll see you back in just a few minutes. Welcome back. It's been about 5 minutes, and I'm looking at this waffle, and I think it's probably just about done. So we're going to pop it open, and we're going to pull it out. Okay. I'm going to put that right there. I'll move that to the side. Now we're going to get this beauty plated up. So we're going to take half of our stuffing waffle. Which is very, very hot. We're going to put some mashed potatoes on top. We're going to top that with some turkey. Got some roasted turkey here. You could use store turkey as well. And we're going to put some gravy on top of that. And to the top of that, we're going to add some of our cranberry sauce. And then we'll get the other half of our waffle. I want to be able to eat this, so we'll just kind of prop it up there so you can eat it with a fork. And there you have it, the leftover stuffing waffle. If you like this recipe, click like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.